Diamonds all in your face.
What is going on in Houston, Texas? Another Friday, another new set of videos. Got a big game coming up on Sunday at noon at NRG Stadium. Houston Texans taking on the Ravens. Now, early on this week, on Monday, I believe, to be certain, I'll give you guys 3 keys of what I see this offense being able to do to keep this game close. Deshaun Watson, his presser, said it's all about keeping the game close with these quarterbacks that can really go off at any particular time. And we're talking about the 2019, 2020 MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson. Yes, he's coming in with his Baltimore Ravens with a new packed running threat, with his new toy in the draft, Dobbins, him himself still running the ball. And then, of course, the guy has always been there. So, what can this defense do? That's what we want to talk about. What could potentially this defense do to try to at least limit the Ravens 1 or 2 drives? Will they do it all game? That's asking a lot from a new defense with a new defensive coordinator. But what can Anthony Exotic do this Sunday, who actually came out and said in his presser he's going to be less exotic this particular game? And to be honest, I don't think it's going to carry on all season. I don't think he's going to stop trying to implement the things he wants to implement. I just think that for this particular game, you might not want to throw so many things that will confuse your defense, that will basically make the communication harder for the folks that you have out there. We saw a couple of times, last time with the Chiefs, that they took advantage of some of those miscommunications. One of them being the Justin Reed touchdown that got called back when he was forced to come and press the wide receiver as in a corner. And so, things that you don't want to let the Ravens catch you doing. So I expect a lot of man-to-man. I expect the Texans to play a lot of man-to-man and really try to limit the run somewhat and basically let their receivers, their tight ends beat you, right? Beat you. And it's going to be interesting, right? Because one of the things that we've talked about is Anthony Weaver really getting to know his personnel, really understanding what he needs to do to sub, who he needs to sub, who needs to be subbed, all those things that really take place in this type of defense. And so it starts with playing the right defensive tackles. I don't want to see Charles Omenihu being put in on the inside anymore, whether it's him rotating with Merciless and Grenard, who actually I think all players have been active. The only player that has actually been ruled out is Peter Kalambayi, who is on the special team. So all players should be ready to go. We know Conley is on IR. We know Kahali Warren is on IR. So those players obviously are not ones that I'm talking about. But you got to use the right inside leverage. Now, I'm hearing that DJ Watt's going to continue to be played on the inside. That's all right. I think last game he played a lot better against the run defense than he did, rushing the quarterback. Can he make some impact down the middle? I really hope so. As far as Charles, like I said, I want to see him back on the outside. Do not put him on the inside. And I want to see P.J. Hall play more, man. I want to see P.J. Hall get a lot of more snaps. The dude, when he came in, it was making the Chiefs, have trouble running the ball. And so that's what you want. You want them to double think, okay, I'm not going to run it every single time. I'm going to have to throw it down the field. That is having a balance to your defense. If they're not able to do that, Lamar Jackson's not going to have to throw it down the field. He's just going to either run it himself, give it to his other back, or give it to Dobbins. Sorry that I keep forgetting old boy's name, but, big trust. And, that definitely is key. I think the other key is that in those one-on-one matches, man, one of our corners have to be active. There was some tape on Lonnie Johnson where you can see that he was definitely depending more on his leg leverage and his hip leverage than his hands. So that is good to see, but he definitely needs to see more time. Now, I do recall him having a hip injury last game, so that's probably why you didn't see him that much. Even Bill O'Brien said it in his presser this week. So I look forward to seeing more of your regular people in there a lot more. I know Grenard has been practicing, so I'm curious to see if they give the youngin a couple of snaps. But Blacklock, he needs to get snaps, man. He needs to get snaps. If he's the guy that you drafted to replace DJ Reader. The only way that the guy's going to get better is by being in there in the trenches and getting experience. If you don't, how can he learn, right? How he can learn? And to me, he's better than Charles. To me, PJ Hall is better than Charles on the inside. So whether you rotate those two to be on the inside with JJ, or when you bring in JJ, you bring in those two, whatever the case may be, you got to give those guys some type of plays. As far as our linebackers, when it comes to covering, I expect to see Dylan Cole in there. I think last game he was ruled out for I think it was an ankle injury of some sort. So I expect to see more of Dylan Cole. They definitely need to allow Dylan Cole to be in there on specific wheel routes that the Ravens might run in coverage. Definitely need to allow Dylan Cole to get back to that Dylan Cole that we saw his rookie year. So explosive, being able to cover downfield. McKinney, man, just... I don't know, man. He definitely ain't cutting it. He's not looking so great. And then the tackling, man. The tackling has to be good. They talked about how much they practiced this week on tackling, how much they had physical practices this week. Well, come Sunday, I don't want to hear any excuses. I'm tired of hearing, we didn't have no preseason. The Chiefs didn't give that excuse. The Ravens didn't give that excuse. The Browns didn't give that excuse. The Browns showed up last night, did their thing. It didn't matter who they were facing. They basically, hey, we didn't make up the schedule. This is our opponent, and we're going to take advantage of it. So Texans, if you don't want to go 0-2, you got to be disciplined in your tackling. And for the offense, you got to break some tackles. You got to continue to feed your tight ends who can break tackles. Continue to feed your wide receivers in space and be able to do that, which brings me to the offensive line. All things that needs to click. But yeah, man, that is exactly what I expect from the defense this weekend. Anyways, that is my spill. Let me know what you guys think. Who should the Texans be allowing to play more snaps? Who should be seeing the field a little bit less? Comment down below. Hey, you know what it is every day, baby? It is H-Town. Let's get it. Blah!